Despite being 3 years shy of being a centenarian, Dick Van Dyke still has a passion for being an entertainer. In his latest TV appearance, he drove the audience and panelists insane. Join Factsverse as we present, at 97, Dick Van Dyke has brought his fans to tears. On the 9th season of the beloved celebrity singing competition The Masked Singer, 97-year-old Dick Van Dyke created quite a splash. He sang When You're Smiling, made famous by Billie Holiday, while in character as a gnome. Regrettably, he was the first contestant eliminated that night. However, when the mask was removed, everyone's jaws dropped. He caused everyone in the room, including panelists Robin Thicke, Nicole Scherzinger, Ken Jeong, and Jenny McCarthy Wahlberg, to go crazy with happiness. In particular, Scherzinger began openly crying in the presence of the beloved Mary Poppins and Dick Van Dyke Show actor. Furthermore, his elimination has been hailed as the most famous, acclaimed, and special in the show's history. When he was asked about his reaction to being invited to appear, Van Dyke confessed he initially had no idea what it was. But after researching it, he realized it would be an enjoyable experience to participate in. He was also excited about the surprise element of his appearance since he believed no one would ever expect a 97-year-old like him to be on the show. Like many of us, no one expected someone from his generation to be on the show and definitely caught us off guard. To maintain the surprise, his identity was kept secret from most of the crew and he was led around with his head covered. Did you know the song he performed was not the original song planned by the showrunners? He was given a current rock song, which he did not know, so they eventually settled on When You're Smiling, which Frank Sinatra had also performed. His wife helped him choose the song, so if you liked his performance, you have her to thank too. According to Van Dyke, his appearance on the show was the most unusual experience he'd ever had. He also acknowledged he'd enjoyed himself immensely on the show and was pleased that some of his programs were being broadcast again. However, he conveyed his disappointment with the current frequency of commercials that interrupt the airing of the episodes. Can't get over his career success. Working with Walt Disney was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for him, and he felt like he was living out a childhood fantasy. After Mary Poppins in 1964, he appeared in 2 more Disney features and 2 B films directed by Walt himself. There's no denying the lasting impact that his portrayal of Bert in Mary Poppins has had on audiences of all ages. Although he no longer performs as the character, he has come to view it as an extension of himself. He spoke about how much fun it was to have little children know him as Bert. To no one's surprise, he lists Mary Poppins as a career high point in a career that has far surpassed his wildest dreams. Furthermore, he can't stand seeing himself on TV and usually avoids reruns of his popular shows like the new Dick Van Dyke Show. But this time it's not because he can't get over it. There are around 6 ads instead, which is 3 times as many as when the shows originally debuted. As per his account, the show that used to have 3 commercials in a half-hour time slot now has to make do with 6, which has resulted in the shows being ruthlessly chopped up. The situation is unbearable for his viewing experience. When Van Dyke is not busy with his career, one of his favorite things to do is sing duets with his 51-year-old wife, Silver. They recently celebrated Valentine's Day with a lively karaoke party at their place, joined by some close friends. During the pandemic, his wife even taught herself some of his favorite songs to keep him singing. And when she says all the music he knows, he means everything, including the soundtracks of classic movies like Mary Poppins. He's also stated he'd love to return to the stage as soon as possible. In fact, he's confident that he's amassed enough material to perform a one-man show just for the fun of it. Dick Van Dyke explains why his Mary Poppins accent was, quote, the worst. The Cockney chimney sweep Bert from Mary Poppins will always be the part people most associate with Van Dyke. Without exception, everyone agrees his character is British except for his accent. In spite of the film's status as a cinematic classic, Van Dyke's voice work has gained notoriety due to his infamous difficulties with the accent. Over the years, he's tried to explain what went wrong. In 2012, he sat down with Conan O'Brien and faulted his vocal coach, who was Irish, for ruining his chances of a nice accent. He likes to make light of the situation by joking that British people would pounce on him like a pack of wolves if they ever caught sight of him. This demonstrated how terrible his Cockney accent was. Later, he even said it was the worst attempt at a Cockney accent everyone had ever heard. Van Dyke also revealed he had lied every time he was mocked for his attempts at a London accent to protect his pride. He would make up a tale to defend the accent whenever he was critiqued. He claimed it wasn't Cockney but came from a small, unpopulated region in the north of England where a handful of Cockneys had relocated in the 1800s. Van Dyke has spent the remainder of his life apologizing for the impersonation, but he's maintained a positive attitude. Better yet, he now has company when it comes to terrible film accents. During an interview with the LA Times in 2010, he recalls receiving a British magazine with a list of the 20 worst movie accents. Sadly, but not unexpectedly, he made the cut and came in at number 2. First place went to Sean Connery because he always brings that Scottish accents to his roles. Connery can't completely eliminate his local accent, even when playing such diverse characters as a Russian submarine captain in The Hunt for Red October and an Irish-American police officer tracking down Al Capone in The Untouchables. Dark secrets of the Mary Poppins cast. All seemed well in the Mary Poppins world, but some terrible tragedies had occurred behind the scenes. On screen, we entered a fantastical land where the beloved British nanny and other quirky characters sang and danced. But the cast of the 1964 classic was dealing with more than just fun and games behind the scenes, and the iconic actor's personal difficulties and health challenges were the most prominent. On set, Dick was struggling with alcoholism, which he kept hidden from everyone. He went to treatment twice to try to get clean and sober, but when those efforts failed, he developed suicidal thoughts. He claims it all started when his family moved to an environment frequented by other young families with children about the same age. And since everyone in the community drank heavily, there were wild parties every night. He told The Telegraph that he frequently worked while suffering from a severe hangover, a challenge when your job requires you to dance. Thankfully, the beverage's taste began to deteriorate rapidly. It didn't take long before he started making progress in overcoming his alcoholism. In 1993, he made a comeback with diagnosis murder after finally overcoming his 25-year battle with alcohol. Julie Andrews, Mary Poppins. Although Julie was a near-perfect Mary Poppins on screen, she was anything but in real life. Karen Dotrice, the actress who played Jane Banks, claimed that the Oscar winner was a heavy smoker when no one was looking. She told The Sun in an interview that she used to curse and smoke on set. Initially, she showed respect when interacting with children, but that quickly changed. After giving a remarkable performance, Julie won an Academy Award for the role. But her singing voice, which had made her a sensation, was cruelly taken away from her due to a mishandled surgery. In 1997, she had an operation to remove non-cancerous nodules from her vocal cords, but when she regained consciousness, she discovered her singing ability had vanished. She shared with People magazine that the situation would have been more devastating if it had occurred earlier. Despite the already heart-wrenching experience, she sued the 2 doctors responsible for the failed procedure. Her lawsuit was settled for an undisclosed amount in 2000. Now it's time to hear from you. What other movie, aside from Mary Poppins, is your favorite starring Dick Van Dyke? Let us know in the comments section below.